My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to SpellRogue, where we're going to be playing Hazel and we're going to be doing the Earth B loadout yet again. As much as I do want to move on to the C loadout, I have also not won yet with Earth B, and I should like to. Mutation stage 6, because I'm not a coward. Although I reserve the right to become a coward at any point in time when it feels appropriate. Let's have a look at Hazel's spells. Do you have many things that benefit from being depleted? Autumn's Veil is a default. It's actually the default for loadout C. Oh boy. No deplete casts so far. Some of these might upgrade for deplete casts, but that's not really what we're looking for either. Okay, Sanctify Shell. Has 3 charges, gain a 5 or a 6 rolled. I mean, that could be good. That's still only 1 deplete spell so far. There's Transfigure, deplete another spell. So there definitely should be more things that benefit from being depleted. But I suppose they are rarer. Oh, hang on. Gleaming Force. That's gain power for depleting it, then Fortitude as well, gain barrier for depleting it. Okay, so there's more than I'd found yet. Ultimate power, relief, and proliferate. All of this is about whether or not diminishment. Every second turn, remove 1 charge from all spells could be used appropriately here. In turn 1, all enemies receive Undying. I don't dislike that. Negative 2 options in drafts feels impossible. I don't think I do Scarcity. Adaptation could be a nightmare, unless I'm killing people very, very quickly. For each boss defeated, enemies start with 2 extra power. Seems like it's going to be way too significant. It's going to overwhelm us. Diminishment. Every second turn, remove 1 spell from all charges. Sorry, 1 charge from all spells, rather. Seems pretty good. Turn 1, all enemies receive Undying. We don't have anything else to work with there. Fumble and Curse both occurring on turn 2 means that turn 2 would just be garbage for us. Definitely don't want to take that with Escalation. I'm going to try and do the adaptation version just because I'm more scared of Scarcity and I don't want to take that many of these negatives. So I am going to have to focus on a defensive build, and it's only for each boss, so the elite battles aren't going to count for that. It's after I beat the Mother of Flames at the end of this floor, assuming that I do so, hopefully, that I'm going to have to start worrying about 2 extra power for every single minion from there on out. Shivering Totem. Enchanted Dice with Glimmer. So we don't currently, as Hazel, have access to one of our loadouts that can consistently take the same die. Beast Within is 3 countdown, 2 times a turn, rolls a 5 or a 6. So if we had the ability to invest the Glimmer die multiple times into one of our spells, we can benefit from the fact that it gives +1 to another random die multiple times. Can't do that here, probably not interested in taking it. Dire's Grasp. On turn 1, we roll a sapling die, which is 1 or a 2, and each round, it persists on board unless I use it, and it gets +1 to its value until it is a 6. There's also Stoneheart Amulet at the start of combat, gain 2 Blessing. I do think I'm going to need to hit the ground running. So I'm going to take Stoneheart Amulet for 2 Blessing, and I'm going to be looking for things that give me the ability to parlay that into defense on the first turn, as well as Foresight. So rolling additional die thereafter. Oh, what a blessed board. All 6s, baby. Of course, I'm still only really capable of attacking the enemy once this turn, until I'm rolling additional die. Fire block from Rampart. A 1 into Boulder Toss. And then a 2 to pre-bake part of the Beast Within. I should really defend this turn is the thing. And then as long as I roll well next turn, I'll be able to kill the enemy with 2 Boulder Toss. No, I can only Boulder Toss once this turn anyway. Woof. Well, gonna be taking 5 damage this turn. Oof. Sorry, 4 damage this turn. Blocking 5. There's the Boulder Toss. Enemy dead. Yahoo. I need help here. Flourished on a 12, rolled 2 5 to 6s. Infuse scales. On a 3 to 6, gain X block, and then return the dice with -1 value. Sorry, -2 value. When I upgrade it, it can give me X plus 1 block and return the die with just 1 lower value. There's also Earthbane, deal X plus 3 damage, and it only accepts an odd. Or rather, sorry, the base version is accept an odd, 2 times a turn, deal X damage. If you use a 1 to do this, gain a barrier as well. I'm interested in rerolling just for the sake of continuing to look for depleted spells, but Infuse Scales does have an appeal here. Bastion! For a 4, gain 2 block. Then increase the block by 1 this combat. This seems like a really good way to start building the ability to defend effectively against adaptation. Gleaming Exterior, gain X block on a 1 to a 5, and then 1 Blessing, and then Fixation. Unfortunately, Gleaming Exterior with only 1 charge is much harder to take here. I'm just going to take the Bastion and move on. Frustratingly, they are undying this turn, so I'm not going to be able to kill them. That's okay, though. Eventually, it will only take me 1 Boulder Toss to take out the Corrupt Brute in the midline, which is the one that is intending to scale first. Beautiful. In fact, I can do it this turn. Midliner dies, I use Bastion for even more defense, and Bastion grows stronger. No incoming damage this turn means I don't need to use Bastion. 6 and a 1 into Boulder Toss. Let's throw that at the backliner, as the frontliner is already pre-defending, or showing the intent to defend for next turn. They might be a wee bit harder to take down. Never mind, I'm not taking anyone down that turn. Another Bastion defense turn. I'm definitely more than comfy slow rolling it at the moment though, because I'm not taking damage for doing so and the enemy isn't scaling. Gold, a weakness gas for 5 weak to all enemies. Natural hardiness. On turn 1, gain a fortify just because you have this. And then also you can cast it for 7 block. Gain 2 fortify. I don't think I need that, and I think I do still want to reroll for the possibility of hitting something with an with a kill shot there. Oh, depleted. Gain a blessing from Earthquake. I'll take it. I'm not going to be happy about it, but I can use that for a little period of time here. Okay, if I give you 25 gold, you'll give me Mana Symmetry, which only has 1 charge, so I'll only be able to use it every second turn. Or I can disenchant a spell and you'll give me a Void spell. Let's do that. Let's get rid of Rampart. Inscribe only needs to be cast once in order to reduce the cost of Bastion to 1. That's what I do. I take Inscribe. Let's also take the available option for possibly fighting a second elite. I'm gonna need Bastion to scale us faster. Okay, so there's going to be summons in this fight. Carrion Abomination is summoning 2 on turn 1. Let's hit the Beast Within so that we can inscribe Bastion immediately. That said, I could also inscribe Beast Within, which will get down to only 1 cost, so it can mill 1s immediately into other things, and only things that aren't 1 are currently useful right now. Let's do that first. I could Earthquake you for 12 damage. I do want to do that, but alternatively, I could also increase the defense that Bastion gives us twice right now, which will start to make it difficult for the enemy to do anything. Bastion is now blocking 8 for a single 4 cast. Drop a 4 into Bastion. A 6 into Earthquake. And then a 5 into Boulder Toss, just preparing. So we will be taking... Oh no, the power from Toxic Ooze is given to... Okay. Here's something that occurred over the course of the development of Slay the Spire. In particular, there used to be circumstances whereby a minion that acted earlier in battle had the ability to, in some way, change the intent that was shown above another character's head. So an example of this would be if the minion in the front line is giving 2 power to everyone, the minion in the back line that was previously showing above its head its intent that it was going to do 2 damage is now doing 4. Eventually, SCS specifically removed all instances of that. Anything that would make the intent system something that you couldn't necessarily rely on. I would argue that's a good decision. Alright. Let's keep on keeping on. I'm going to inscribe... Ooh, actually... Let's Earthquake twice. Remove all those units from the field, and then the Carrion Abomination is marking us with 2 marked. Got it. I should probably decrease the cost of Boulder Toss so I have the ability to use it twice in a turn. And then it'll also get used right now. Yeah, Inscribe is definitely appropriate here. Ooh, I wish I could defend better against that. In fact, I will. I'm going to throw a Weakness Gas at the enemy. Then full defend with Bastion, and hit you with a Boulder Toss. I didn't want to take 7 damage, though. Okay, so thankfully I know that I only need to hit Bastion once, and I'm already good. can just Boulder Toss straight at your body twice. Because if Boulder Toss accepts a 5 or a 6, which is kind of what it's already doing if it has countdown 5, except a 5 or a 6 to easily cast it, then Beast Within is a way of already generating those. And let's exploit that. Carrying Abomination down. That is our first Elite Shard. It's worth noting, Diminishment is not really hitting us that hard because it's happening every second turn. We have ways to account for it. Adaptation is not yet even active. So right now is when I need to take my risks and get powerful. Flowing Mana, reroll or die. Maul. Deal 6 damage, gain block equal to unblocked damage dealt. I like that. I prefer it to Boulder Toss. Gives us the ability to possibly defend ourselves in a scaling fashion. I don't really want to reroll right now because I'm about to go to a shop. On turn 1, add 1 charge to all countdown spells. That would give me the ability to inscribe twice on turn 1. I also need the shard though. On turn 1, all enemies are undying, so that would also give me the ability to scale Bastion more. I'm going to take the Runic Confuser here. Swap Maul for Boulder Toss. Head to the shop. I can sell Maul if I really want to try and buy something expensive. Trinity Statue. For each 3 3s rolled, we roll a 1. 1s are really good for my build. Portentum. Each turn, apply Portent to a random spell, which means if it is cast first in the turn, woohoo. Bramble Growth. Depleted, gain 8 block. But it still requires that upgrade first. And then Stupefying Stone on turn 1, apply 5 weak to all enemies. Honestly, Stupefying Stone, it's exactly as much money as I have. Apply 5 weak to all enemies on turn 1, when I can't kill them on that turn, is extremely appropriate. Especially in the world where they can have +2 power on that turn 1. Or +4. I'm not going to sell anything here. I'm gonna head for the next elite fight. As soon as I can give a upgrade to Inscribe, Inscribe has the ability to have -3 to its countdown cost. So that would give me the ability to, on turn 1, Inscribe Beast Within, which will auto-cast because it just got inscribed for its full cost. Then setting down to a countdown of 1. It'll roll a 5 or a 6, and then I'll just be able to pound die into Bastion. I'm so ready. I do want to do a big AoE this turn, because a big AoE this turn will set up for the ability to take them all out next turn, it looks like. I guess, yeah, one of them is gaining 5 block, but it's not gonna save you. Bunch of damage to everyone, and then I'll maul you for lethal. Growing Blade. I committed myself to using this for a whole episode. Every single kill. And by the end, it was fine. It was completely fine. It was fine. Now it's time to hit another reroll, looking for another possible deplete. Impure Ritual. Gain Foresight, but receive Curse. So we roll more die, but those die are going to be lower value. The thing is, once everything costs 1, rolling more die, but those die being lower value, is sick as hell. I'm going to take Impure Ritual. I just don't suspect I'm going to be using it for a while yet. I need to get my next shard, so that's this elite battle right here. Aha, Primordial Blaze! You're going to be intensifying on turn 1 and then attacking. Beautiful, beautiful. I almost suspect that I should decrease the cost of Maul. Definitely Beast Within. And I'll cast Bastion once, start scaling that. Incoming damage this turn is 10, but I can't cast Bastion twice, so I would need to be able to cast Bastion and Maul, which I can do. A 4 into Bastion, and then a 6 and a 2 into Maul gives us the ability to defend for 10? Well, 11, but 10's no match for 11. I might take a fire damage this, but I'm fine with it. I'm going to put a 2 in Bastion and then inscribe Bastion. Yeah, I take the fire from Ignite first, but I still then cast Bastion thereafter. And I'm going to scale Bastion yet once more. So now it's defending for 14 on an individual. Take 2 damage in order to be able to deal some more to the enemy this turn. Via a Maul and then a Earthquake. Enemy has intensified, so now they're attacking 2 times at the same times. Which is especially fine by me, because I only need to use Bastion once in order to fully defend here. I'm scaling way better than you are. You've double ignited the spell I can't even afford to cast this turn, thank you. Yeah, eventually all of my stuff will be burning though, so I should find a solution to said problem. Seek this through killing the Primordial Blaze. Incoming damage is 24, well Bastion will get me most of that. And then I can Maul an Earthquake to my heart's content. I'm gonna hit the Bastion so that I can afford a reroll easily, and then Maul a target twice. 36 defense against your incoming 24, and then any aggressive action will kill you next round. Including this 6 I rolled, just going straight up into the Earthquake. Gain some more gold, a Smoke Screen for 1 dodge charge. Totem Instinct and Bramble Growth. Bramble Growth is still there as an available option. I'm going to take a reroll, still looking for the possible better deplete spell somewhere. Double block by a Stone Meld. Only ever has 1 charge, so it'll only ever be available every second turn. Not very keen on that. I will take it, though. Spirit of Swiftness. Cast 10 spells. Deal 6 damage to all enemies. Nope. I'm taking that shard, and I'm making Inscribe. Reduce countdown cost slightly more. And then at the Sanctuary, I'm going to gain some max health by throwing away Boulder Toss. Alright, that's about as aggressive a first floor I could have managed. The fact that the enemies have -5 strength on turn 1, and I have Bastion, so by turn 2 I'm starting to defend really well, I feel pretty confident. Okay, so here's the game, gamers. We hit the 3 into Beast Within, then Inscribe Beast Within, rolling another 5 or a 6, which gives us the ability to use Inscribe again, and then pop that into Bastion. And I should start scaling Bastion a little bit right now. So I'm going to drop 2 into it, and now it gives me 8 block for 1 die. That's the end of turn 1. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to Earthquake enough times this turn to really get my point across by killing these enemies, but I can Bastion to defend myself against all incoming damage. Let's pop a 1 into Beast. Great. 6 into Earthquake, clearing out the summons. I really do want to Inscribe again, though. Because Inscribe is only available every second turn, and I want to start downgrading the cost of Maul. It's just I also won't be able to defend against the Flame whilst doing that. The only way not to take any fire damage that turn would have been to defend with Maul first. Which I didn't want to do. Okay. Let's get some spread damage out on the field again. And then hit a Bastion and a Maul for full defense. Actually, I'll also take out the chump. I don't need you to give 4 armor to everyone on field. Oh, perfect. This is the thing we look for. A 5 in Inscribe goes into Maul, and now Maul is double castable this turn. In fact, I'm not going to be capable of doing more than that. I need to be able to generate additional die, because if I can start generating additional die at all, oh boy, this build can accomplish so much in a single turn. Incoming damage is 18. So as long as I make sure that I cast Bastion and Maul, I'll be safe. And now Bastion is defending for 20. Ooh, Maul gets free cast when I Inscribe it this turn, which will defend me against the horrors of being ignited. AoE helps take out those chumps, and pop the Bastion on top of that, even more scaling. So yeah, we're kind of slowly working our way through this one, but I feel like the adaptation is going to start being outclassed very quickly if I can consistently cast Bastion. That said, on my diminished turns, it appears the best I'm capable of doing is casting everything once. Some scaling would also help. Got him for the big damage there. And I'll take the AoE kill, please. We'll be able to heal back up to full. Gain a shard as well. Shrunken Mana Stone. Roll an odd value die on turn 1. On odd turns. There's also Dark Wraith Scythe. Roll a die less each turn, but gain 2 critical. And Exuberant Wand. Cast 12 spells, roll a die. This is going to be a die every second turn, as well as Shrunken Mana Stone being a die every second turn. Impure Ritual is the way that I can gain additional die very, very easily. Unfortunately, I can't gain it on the turn that I'm deprived of die. I can only gain it on the turn that I'm deprived of charges, unless I upgrade it to give additional charges so that I can actually cast Impure Ritual, which is probably the upgrade I do want to go for, realistically. If I inscribe Impure Ritual 2 times, I very quickly get to the state of affairs where an inscribe on Beast Within gives me the ability to just play everything. Rolling an additional die on turn 1. I mean, basically, what this says, Shrunken Mana Stone, right? Every second turn, Diminishment removes a charge from all of my spells. Shrunken Mana Stone says, on the turn that you have more charges, you also have more die. That's what I want, taking Shrunken Mana Stone for that reason. I will use my shard to open an additional slot here. Though it's worth noting that Earthquake depleted is appealing, except for the fact that eventually, the 1s are the same as 6s to me in this build. So it suddenly loses that value yet again. Okay. Looks like I have to go to a shop relatively early here. I don't have a choice. Well, that's if I want to take the 2 elites, and again, this is... next floor is going to be much harder. Everything starting with 4 power. This floor is going to be a little hard, but I still need to try and make advantage when I can, because I think this build is strong enough to do so. Okay, I'm going to inscribe Beast Within to make that free. As well as roll the die from it. And then I'm going to inscribe Bastion. I should cast Earthquake twice on turn 1. Because I can. I'll cast a Bastion in between so that I don't take any fire damage. Incoming damage is too much this turn. Why does it have to be so much? I'm only going to be able to defend against 9. Unfortunately, we only get 1. I've got to remember we only ever have 1 charge of Bastion on turn 2, so I really, really do want to use a huge amount of charges but on turn 1 so that it scales more effectively than this. Oh, I got 2 less block even though I did 6 damage because I was sapped. So I'll actually be taking even more damage. Oof. Let's invest a 5 into making Maul castable. I'm gonna drop a single 6 across the squad rather, sorry. And then I'm gonna Bastion twice, so that next turn when I use Bastion once, it at least defends me for, well, 12 as it turns out, because the enemy is also applying some sap to me. I do have to use this 6 to attack for any defense. I could now use a smokescreen to dodge 10 damage. I think I should do that. Impure Ritual needs to be upgraded before I can actually start incorporating it into this build. Again, because it's only castable on the turn that I don't want dice afterwards. This rolls 6. Didn't, but if it did, cool boy. That would have taken the enemy out right there. Five in Bastion, and then I can Earthquake and maul you to death. Pick up some gold. Azure Potion, +3 value to all die. That's going to be very valuable for us. Gleaming Force and Fortitude are here. Hello! Fortitude, when depleted, gives you 1 barrier. Gleaming Force, when depleted, gives us 1 power. But it upgrades to 3 power instead. More power is great because it scales with AoE damage from Earthquake, and it also scales with the damage from Maul, in that it will also provide additional defense. I don't think I need more defense courtesy of Fortitude when I already have Bastion here, so I'm going to take Gleaming Force. I don't know when I'm going to work that into the build, though. First, let's go get a Ritual. -7 to a countdown spell. The thing is, I don't usually have countdown spells that need to be cast like that. Every second turn? Basically, it casts a spell for free. That's realistically what that does for me. I guess I can use that, and I don't want to re-roll and lose money for the upcoming shop, as well as not like the new options. Losing Azure Potion, I can gain Dark Arts. Ooh, I can lose the Shrunken Mana. The Shrunken Manus, my boss relic? No! Lose Impure Ritual for 75. Okay, well, 75 could be useful, but losing the Azure Potion here, so that's the +3 value to all die, gives us Dark Arts. Dark Arts is an 8 countdown, usable twice a turn, apply 2 Rupture, and then increase Rupture by 2 this combat. That's a scaling option, and it can be hit with Inscribe. Eventually, Dark Arts will be a huge amount of Rupture, and then I hit the enemy for Maul. I like it. I'm taking Dark Arts. Let's also hit a shop. Having a look at the relics first. Finger of Justice. Every 10th spell attack also applies 2 days to the target. There's Trapped Spellwind on turn 1, roll an extra die. That could be great for us. And Overcharge Crystal. Roll 10 die, and that'll deal 7 damage to a random enemy for you. Trapped Spellwind, I think 100%. It helps me set up even more on turn 1, and I already have the additional die from Shrunken Mana Stone to help me do so. I do wonder if I should sell some spells right now. It'd probably just be Stone Meld in order to maybe buy a potion Or two. A potion or two. I'm going to take 1 dodge and 12 block as my 2 potions here, and then I'm going to skip on out. This is because I want to take an extremely aggressive line with the next 2 elites. I think this will help us do so. Actually, Impure Ritual doesn't need to be in our build at the moment because I haven't got it upgraded, so Dark Arts should be there. Or Gleaming Force, honestly. Okay. Hello, Crones. The middle crone is healing 6 to all enemies, including itself. And the backline crone is giving 3 power to all enemies on turn 1. Rude. That's not good for us. Alas. Top 5 it Inscribe, lower the cost of Beast Within. I can upgrade this 1 through Beast Within, doing the same. Another 5 it Inscribe to lower the cost of Bastion. I'll cast Bastion twice this turn, and Earthquake twice, because I really need to do AoE damage to these enemies wherever it's available. Even if they're going to heal 6 to all enemies, they're not going to heal 12. Oh boy. They all have a lot of power. I don't like this. Most block I can gain this turn is 14. I can stop 16 of that with the dodge. Let's get 6 damage across the party again. I'm gonna maul the frontliner and then Bastion. And then we'll smoke screen. This will prevent the Crone of Birth from being able to deal any damage to me, so it won't heal by the 16 that it otherwise would. I will be taking 7 damage here, though. Oh my god. The Crone of Growth in the back line has both times had the Crone Eye when it's cast the power to all of its team. That enhances its next action considerably. And we're currently living in the example of a considerably enhanced action. Oh boy, I really don't have the ability to take targets out as well as I need to be able to. Ah! Go Inscribe Maul. Got a dual cast Bastion this turn. And then Earthquake the enemies. I'll be taking 1 damage this turn. The enemies are all getting stronger. At the very least, Bastion is scaling, so I'm not just screwed because they're getting stronger like this, but... yeah, if they choose to all attack on a turn that I'm not prepared for it, such as now, it's gonna hurt. Use an Iron Skin potion for some additional block this turn. Taking 7 damage. The Crone of Birth is still giving health to all of its allies. Trying to attack for 36 total this turn. Let's inscribe Maul for free. some big AoE spells out there. Boy. You really do want one of them dead, not, you know, working all of them down equally. Let's go for a 5 Earthquake across everyone, and then I'm gonna maul, taking the target off the field. Woohoo! And then defend in a way that is going to still allow me to take 2 damage this turn, but the enemies aren't healing again. Let's get Inscribed to cast Maul for free. And then cast Earthquake one more time. Frontliner is down. Woo! And then with a single Bastion, I can full defend. Yeah, this was a hard fight. This one were a toughie. Desolation. Accepts any 2 die, but on a 12, return them. Fleeting Might. Gain X power, receive X drain on a 4. I don't really want any of those. I'm gonna take a reroll. Spring to action. On turn 1, gain some additional power. I'm gonna take that just in case I want to use that slot for power. Turn 1, gain 15 block. All enemies have 5 weak on turn 1, and I'm already scaling my own block on turn 1, and I need a shard, so I'm not going to be taking it, but, you know, it's kind offer. Maul being able to do more damage, and therefore gain more block, is also impactful, but Impure Ritual having the ability to actually generate, you know, 4 extra die on a good turn for us has to happen. Obviously, the more enemies there are in a fight, the more it hurts for all of your enemies to gain 2 additional power. So the fact that I just fought the Crones, I feel like is not representative of how we will actually perform in most fights. Let's inscribe the Beast Within and inscribe Bastion. And it's a simple case of Earthquake, Earthquake, Bastion, and Bastion again. $18 damage incoming. I can defend against less than that. And I definitely can't take a unit on the field off of it. Oh, I'm breaking the spells that I cast, I see. Not very keen to do that. Taking 4 damage this turn and leaving 2 of my spells broken, unfortunately. I'm gonna pop a 5 into Inscribe to make Maul cheaper, and then cast it 1 time this turn, targeting the back line. Maybe I should have done last turn. And then also Bastion. End my turn here. This turn could get a bit dicey, I think. Never mind, the enemies aren't attacking. Thankfully, the extra mark on me is not going to be relevant. I suspect this turn I should break my spells out. And, in fact, I'm going to cast my 7 on Impure Ritual. So now I've got 2 extra die next turn, and all of my die will be lowered in value by 1. That'll help me offset the broken that the enemy is applying to my spells, rather. Let's inscribe, which I actually suspect I won't have to unbreak again later. Got 2 into Beast Within, which I don't even know if I'll unbreak this turn, but I will drop 2 things into Bastion for a full defense. And then heck, because of how far ahead we are, I'm actually just going to shore myself up against this enemy. And gain an Impure Ritual for the next turn as well. A 1 in Bastion gives us 20 block. I can cast Maul for free against the enemy. I can use Impure Ritual twice. 4 additional dice, and all of them are 2 less next turn. And now I can blow the enemy out of the water. This is the kind of thing I was looking for. One of you goes into Beast Within, and then gives Inscribe the ability to make... I mean, do I want to make Maul cheaper at this point, or just cast Impure Ritual again? Impure Rituals being open with only 1s makes them very easy to utilize. Also going to scale up Bastion, hit the end with Maul again. Beautiful. And we've got 6 additional die next turn for a total of 9. Let's instantly cast Maul for free. And I'll defend fully with Bastion before re-rolling a single result to get an Earthquake that can hit this enemy. Break open these 2 spells, and then let's hit the Impure Ritual a couple of times. And that'll do it. It's not the fastest fight of all time, for sure. But it does work. Gold Azure Potion has come back. Welcome. Pox Flare. Well, I'll be. So Pox Flare is a 4 countdown, which means a single Inscribe already gets it to its lowest cost. I suspect that would be a much better way of me trying to deal damage than Earthquake right now, because Earthquake is locked out of the game as soon as my Impure Ritual comes back. Proliferate, gaining extra power each turn. So Pox Flare could also be upgraded to give 2 Pox to a target, which means it'll help spike the damage ridiculously. But also realistically, don't I just want to get Dark Arts in this build instead? Take Pox Flare. It's time for an elite battle. Thankfully, we do have an Azure Potion, but I'm still not extremely confident about this one. This one could be a toughie. Devil Assassin has 2 additional power and is giving itself 1 Malediction, which is a bonus attack that deals unmodifiable damage every round. Rude. Actually, if I double downgrade the cost of Ritual... but then Bastion doesn't get lower cost. And I am gonna need to scale Bastion. Maybe I just cast Impure Ritual once this turn. Because those additional die next turn are still useful. Especially because, you know, Beast Within and Bastion are so affected already. Gives me the ability to more easily invest in another Impure Ritual after the fact as well. I can use, in fact, Red Candle to full cast it this turn. One is only ever going to be what's required by Bastion there. I know a 5 and a 4 is going into Maul as well. Fully defended against incoming damage as a result of that. And honestly, I'm just going to get some more die for the next turn. I think this is what's been missing. Using Impure Ritual earlier. Because on turn 3, we can get ridiculous already. Okay, this is great. Obviously, I need to hit Bastion twice right now. 31 incoming. Yep, completely invalidates the enemy's damage already. Hell yeah. Then a 5 and Inscribe makes Impure Ritual cheaper. We'll invest 2 stacks of 3 into that. Reroll a couple of 1s. And that'll do for a bit. Do I want to deal some instantaneous damage with the Earthquake? I mean, there's no real reason not to unless I really want to get towards the next Maul, but... Actually, I will preload the possibility of the next Maul, because I don't want Bastion to be all the defense that I have in a single round when it's only 20 right now. It's huge, and it's more than the enemy can do in damage, so would have been fine. I'm using the wrong tone of voice for the sentence. Heck, I don't even have the ability to use all of these die. That's actually a good argument for using the additional shard to open up another slot. But Dark Arts! Oh! This is always going to be worth casting a bunch of times. Let's get that 5 to downgrade the cost of Impure Ritual, and now everything except for Maul is 1 cost. Woohoo! Yeah, so my damage doesn't scale up at all, so this is still going to be quite slow for a while, but it's also very, very, very safe. Ooh. I say as I take 1 damage. Oh no. Malediction doubles its stacks. I can't kill this enemy before he's going to be doing 500 damage in a single hit. Ah! No! I needed scaling damage earlier! No, you don't understand. You can't do this to me. I tried so hard. I was wondering how the enemy managed to scale out of my control. God. Yeah, this is the turn I die, I believe. I could give extra value to every die in the entire world and it wouldn't matter. Maximum defense I'm capable of generating this turn is 44. The enemy's incoming damage is 83. God damn it! I underestimated this man and did not ever consider that Malediction could get high because I'd never had to pay the price for it yet. Now is the one time you'll get me like this. You caught me slipping. But I'm gonna be back with a brand new hat. Oh boy! Nothing achieved there as Hazel except for getting to level 5. For the moment, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been SpellRogue. The name of that enemy was the Devil Assassin, and I will, by Jove, have my revenge. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. A special thanks this episode to, Jazzy. And there's things on the screen